Alright, bet. Alright, y'all. So, this is Season 1, Episode 1 of the ASTROVERSE series. Today, we are here with Jeremiah.
Sir.
Find Yours, aka Iceman. Y'all know me. If y'all don't, I'm Astro, Sean Rico, designer artist. And we got my man here today. And we're going to get this cracking. Alright?
Yes, sir.
So, just first tell us where you come from. What's your childhood like, and who were you before Find Yours?
Yeah. So, I was born and raised in PG County. I went to Roberta Baptist for the majority of my life in Largo, Maryland. I played sports growing up. I played soccer. I played football. I got recruited by the varsity coach to try kicking and punting.
Okay.
And so I ended up doing that. I ended up loving it. I have always loved football. I've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan. That's probably why the room is blue and white.
Oh, damn, me too.
But, oh yeah, my God, yes, sir. It's getting tough, man. Yeah,
for sure.
It's getting tough.
Thanks to my
But, yeah, same. But, I went to college. When I was at college, I started to lose my way a little bit, for sure. Got addicted to some substances, and it took me a few years to seek the help that I needed. But yeah, once I got the help that I needed, I feel like that's how all of this is possible. I have an incredible family. I have one younger brother, two younger sisters, two incredible parents, and so I feel like that has helped me give me a good foundation for what we're able to do now.
Right.
So
okay. That's what's up. All right, cool. So just to crack it off, was there? I know you said that you battled like some substances and stuff like that. Was there ever a rock bottom or a point where you felt like, damn, I gotta make a switch? Like,
yeah. For sure. Yeah, they say all rock bottoms have a trap door. So it's like you think this is the bottom, you can always go lower. You think, okay, this is as bad as it gets. It can always go lower. I feel like for me, it was a visit in jail for getting blackout drunk and breaking into somebody's house. That was my first rock bottom. The second rock bottom would be when I crashed my car on 50. I was going 70 miles per hour. I hit the curb, flipped the car right down the median. If I would have rolled 5 yards this way, I would have been dead. 5 yards this way, would have been dead. Somehow, by the grace of God, I rolled right down the middle flat. That was my second rock bottom, but that wasn't enough, because I remember a couple days later, I still kept doing the things that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until July 2022 where I just felt like that maybe I need some help. Maybe I can't do this by myself. And I used to look at that as like, I don't know where I got the idea from, but I thought that it was weak. I thought that it was like I was a punk if like I couldn't beat this thing by myself. But I got to a point, you get in, say, fear or pain invokes change. And I just got in so much pain that I was like, the worst thing that can happen is I go to rehab and this doesn't work. But if I don't ask for help, then I'm going to just keep living in this hell that I've been living in for the past 15 years. So, yeah, that was a couple of my rock bottoms. But it wasn't until I finally decided to myself, like, I want this. I want to try to get some help. I want to try to live a sober life. I really don't want to keep smoking and drinking all day. Where I was like, let me ask for some help. And that help delivered. So,
okay. Yeah, all right, bet. So, this is the first episode. I feel like this was the perfect start to my series just because it's 2026.
Yeah.
And people trying to make a change in their life, I'm sure. So I was like, why not start it off with bruh?
I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure.
I've been following you for a minute. I think we met during a kickball tournament.
Oh, that's where we met. Yes, bro. Yes. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
We was cooking.
Yeah, we were.
We was cooking. All right, yeah. So I noticed that you bought your clothes there. You know what I'm saying? So talk about how that started. I also want to say that I seen you post your throwback picture, and then you had on like some fours, like you said it's always been in you type?
Oh man, yeah. I have that shirt hanging over there. Yeah. So I've always loved clothing. I remember watching it was a Ye Madison Square Garden show when I was maybe 15, and I remember how much that inspired me. Like, I remember looking at the clothing and hearing the music, and I was like, I really love this. Like, I love the the cuts, the silhouettes. And so from there, I started designing. I started getting shirts made through like Uber Prints or like Custom Ink with whatever money I had in high school. And I launched our first brand. It was called Rich Kings. It was all about just luxury, and it was champ, but at the time it like gave me a chance to like express myself through clothing.
Right.
And so when I went to college, I tried again to launch the Paradise Brothers with me and my brother Zach. We did YouTube, we did a whole bunch of fun videos. And the idea behind that brand was find your paradise, find your beach wherever you're at. So always have the mindset of I'm chasing something, I'm looking for something beautiful. And again, got caught in my addiction, and that just didn't pan out the way I wanted. And so about a year into my sobriety, I felt like I wanted to try again. But this time I wanted to try again with a clear mind and a clear vision.
Right.
And so we launched the Paradise Brothers again. This is like the third time. And I've been saying the phrase find yours since maybe 2018, 2019. But at the time it meant, again, finding your beach, finding your paradise, finding your dream destination. Okay. And the first hoodie that we ever put out, all it said on it was find yours. And to me, the message had a different feeling now. To me, it meant finding the best version of me. For me, when I see those words, I think about those times in rehabs. I think about my multiple rock bottoms. I think about trying to work out, but I don't have the motivation to do it. I think about trying to start something, but it doesn't pan out. I think about trying to overcome grief or overcome loss or overcome so many different things. So I was like, I like that. Find yours. It's simple, and it's also a conversation starter. People see the words, so what does that mean? And every single person that describes the brand has a different meaning. It means something completely different to them than it made to me.
Right.
And so that was 2 years ago, and since then we've 20 drops later, 45 cold plunges later, we've I think that we're doing good. I think that we're on the right track for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
I think you dropped your mic.
Oh, did I drop it? Oh, damn.
It's still been picking up?
Yeah, I had you. It's a magnet in it.
Oh, did I hit it?
Yeah, the magnet may have dropped.
Let's see. Maybe? There we go.
Alright, cool. It's looking sweet so far?
Yeah, it looked good.
Look good, cool.
Hell
Yeah, at the beginning, I didn't really, this voice recorder had like stopped and started and stopped and started, but it was towards the end of your first question, and it was, you had took a breath in the middle of the second question. So
Gotcha, okay.
You want to run it back?
Maybe the second question you can, but
With the rock bottom jump?
yeah, you may not have to though, honestly, like,
Okay.
yeah, the emotion from it the first time, it hit.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, cool.
And we can always revisit it, or even at the end if we want to do that part again, I'm fine with it too.
Alright. Alright, so the brand, obviously I'm looking around.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the Find Yours house. Everything looks sweet.
Thank you.
Looks sweet as hell, actually.
Thank you.
I'm very inspired. So let's talk about your inspirations, like who, designer wise, artist wise, inspired you to kind of go this route, or even who you look to in terms of flavor, like that you put out.
For sure, yeah. I would say, Ye is probably that's a big inspiration of mine. I would say Jerry Lorenzo from Essentials is a huge inspiration.
Okay.
Virgil Abloh, that was later in my life, but I still feel like I've picked up a lot of inspiration. And brands like an Aloe or a Lululemon, or brands that, even something like a Zara or H&M, like brands that have been around forever, that have really, really good price points, that make comfortable clothes, and that, all those brands don't necessarily have a message, but I think that time and time, they just stand at the test of time, and they're everywhere that you look.
Right.
I remember when Zara first came out, and it was like the coolest thing in the world to be able to go in there. Or I remember when I was like in high school, and the only thing I could afford was like a Hollister shirt or two. Brands like that, like they have always spoken to me.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say now currently, I'd say Jerry Lorenzo with Essentials, Bobby Hundreds with the Hundreds, and now with Disney, like that. Those brands have always meant something to me for sure.
Okay. Now, going back to the post that you said, like where you was in high school, I know you mentioned Ben Trill.
Oh my gosh, yes. And that was Virgil and that was ASAP, and yeah, Ben Trill was, oh my gosh, I used to love Zoomies.
Mm-hmm.
Like those brands just, I don't know, they just made me feel cool when I was a kid. And it wasn't the most detailed graphic or stuff like that, like but though, yeah, brands like that, they just made me feel cool. And that was their first brand. And then, it's interesting how Ben Trill now turns into a guy who was a creative director of Louis Vuitton. It's like, I think, even with what we're doing now, like, what you're doing may not be the end. It may turn into something else. It may transition to something else. But I feel like you never get to Louis Vuitton by not starting Ben Trill. You know what I mean? So you gotta start somewhere.
Nah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I like that concept. Any dream collabs or I have a question for your logo too.
Yeah.
Any dream collabs? I'll start right there.
I would say a big goal is to have an A6. That's like my way out there that just sounds crazy. I remember in high school there's a brand called E. You know E?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it had like the eBay color logo, and it was like flipped upside down.
Yeah.
And I remember how cool that was back then. But I remember they had a collab shoot with New Balance. Yeah. And again, at the time, you feel like, oh, it's just, local brand. And then they have a shoe. Like, to me, that was always so far. Because not many people can say that they did that.
That's pretty vicious. Yeah.
So if I have a goal that's way out there, I would say it's a shoe. But I would say one of our bigger goals is to have our own factory. Mm-hmm. So instead of us having to go here or go to this person or find this screen printer, I feel like I would love to one day be able to make everything in-house. From screen printing to embroidery to cut and sew to the garment dye. I would love to one day be able to do all of that under one roof, for sure.
No, for sure. Makes everything, cut out the middleman.
For sure, yeah.
Faster
definitely.
production,
yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I fuck with that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next question would be, have you ever thought about? I was thinking about this when I was like, damn, find yours. So for the people that found theirs,
mm-hmm.
you ever thought about doing a design that says "found mine," like the second part of "find yours"? Like I found mine type.
For sure, yeah.
I'm on level 2 now. Or,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had definitely thought about that because what's interesting about hosting events and building a community in real life, having a run club in real life is sometimes you meet people at the beginning of their journey and then you see them progress over the course of years. Mm-hmm. You may meet somebody that has just lost their job and they're living on their own for the first time and they're trying to just figure out life. And then 2 years later, they have their dream job, they have their dream partner, they have their own apartment, and they're in that next phase, they're that second phase.
Yeah.
I think that one thing I found in my journey is that find yours is not necessarily a destination. It may just be a constant reminder every day to keep going. Because there's times where, I've said I want to find mine. I want to run a marathon, and then I ran a marathon,
right.
And then the next set of life challenges present itself,
right.
Or I want to find my dream partner. I found my dream partner, and then other life things come up. I think that find yours is more of a mindset that you're constantly trying to achieve rather than a destination that I get to and that I'm now comfortable at. Because even in my own life, like, I'll hit this goal, then it's the next thing. I'll hit this goal, I think that I'll feel fulfilled, and then it's the next thing. So,
yeah, don't be complacent.
But I have thought about. I'm just scared to change the logo, bro. The logo is like, and people ask, like, do you have like a, I don't know, like a regular logo, like a Nike logo? I'm like, the words themselves are just so powerful that I haven't found a reason to divert from that. So
yeah, nah, for sure, that makes sense. Maybe something ice related. I don't know.
Ice related, yeah, it could, yeah.
Something small in that department that's simple, but I don't know. I would have to brainstorm in that direction, but
yeah, bro, yeah. And that was one thing that Ye said was one of his biggest rules when he was creating was no logos. So if you look at any Ye piece, like, there is no logo. It's blanks. It's a design here. When he did the Yeezy Gap collab, it's a dove, but there is no logo. It's just Yeezy. So I've always kept that in the back of my mind because logos can benefit you, but then they can come back to bite you. For instance, like, I remember when I was in high school how cool the Hollister bird was, and I wanted like every shirt with the Hollister bird. I remember when I got to college and a little bit past that, it's like, anything with the Hollister bird or with that said Aeropostale 1-8, it was like, I'm kind of dumping that.
Past that.
Yeah. But when it's something that, when there is no logo or there's nothing that ties you to it, it's something that can become a timeless piece that, like, you can one day pass on to your kids. So I've always been kind of in the middle when it comes to logos, but I love when I see a brand that has like a fire logo. I'm like, man, like, I wish I could come up with that. Like, that's fire. Like, so I think just for where we're at, I've kind of been a little iffy about one logo, unless we get like a Nike swoosh that falls in our lap then. But yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Okay, so you talked about your cold plunge. When was the first time you did that?
Yeah. So I did that for the first time. It was December 12th, 2023. I've been sober for a year and a half. I had just finished my first marathon, and I was just looking for that next fix, that next thing that kind of got me out of bed, that I was really inspired to do. And so at the time, I was also trying to get off of caffeine. This is when we first launched the brand. I was staying up all night long. I was sober, so I couldn't pick up the things that I used to pick up to help stimulate me or keep me up all night. So I would turn to a Celsius or energy drink or a Monster or all these things that just like help me stay in this, what I thought was a flow state.
Right.
But I was, again, abusing it in the same way that I did with other things. And so I was like, man, I don't want to be drinking 5-6 Celsius a day. Like, I feel terrible. And so I seen a guy on Instagram, his name was Jordan Ferrone, and he was doing cold plunges every day. He had been doing it for, I think, a year at that point. And I was like, man, come to find out, I didn't know that he was sober. I didn't know, like, his whole backstory. But seeing him do that every day, I was like, it looks cool. It seems like he feels great and energetic when he gets out. And I started reading about it. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a way to, one, give me something new to do, but two, to help me get off of just staying up all night long and being tired all day. So I went to Track Supply Co. I bought a metal trough. I put it in the front yard. I filled it up with water, and I did my first cold plunge that day. And then the second day, I woke up early in the morning. I got in, I did it, and I noticed how good I felt without the crash. I noticed how energetic I felt. What I noticed about when we have our cold plunge events is usually when people get out of the tubs, they're a lot more talkative. They're a lot more, I just see this kind of shift where they just feel really good. You see the smiles come on their face. They just feel really good. And so I did it a third day. I did it a fourth day. I did it for a week. And that was, I did that all the way for 750 days straight.
Dang. What the hell?
Yeah, and so that was something that started, again, like, you can sometimes plan for what you think is going to happen, but I would have never thought that me getting a metal tub would have, out of that would have came a community of thousands of people that really, really want to take a cold plunge every week. Like, sometimes you can never plan for what's going to happen, but I feel like it started with me being sober, to the point I could run a marathon, to the point I could start a brand, to the point I could want to have this creative idea because I have all the time on my hands, which has turned into, I mean, what we see now. So,
That's crazy. Talk to us about like community building. I know you said that's like one of your specialties.
Yeah.
You think world building at a time where everybody feels like so disconnected. Like,
yeah.
how do you go about that? If somebody wanted to build a community, how do you think that they would be able to do that the right way?
Yeah. I think you have to start by being real and raw. I think that the days of like being cool and like flexing, I think that stuff has a time and place, but I feel like that's not necessarily the things that I'm seeing people buy into. I think the things I'm seeing people buy into is like realness, and like I think people are buying into like a raw pastor, like a pastor that's willing to go up there and like talk about the stuff that he's going through like yesterday.
Right.
Like a Philip Anthony Mitchell, not a pastor that's going up there with all this, cool stuff. I feel like people they want to buy into something that's real, something that they can feel.
Right.
And I feel like one thing that we do is we never ever, this is probably the second thing, you got to be real. Number two, one thing I found in our experience is we never ever tell people what to do. Because when you share, and this is something I've learned from the program that I'm in, when you share from your experience, nobody can argue with you. Mm-hmm. So if I say that I'm an alcoholic, I struggle with smoking weed, I abuse Adderall, I did these things, nobody can argue with you because it's just your story. But when you start saying, okay, this is bad, or you shouldn't do this, people can naturally get offended by that because that may not be their struggle. And who am I to tell somebody what to do?
Right.
And so I feel like the second thing is speaking from your own experience of what you have gone through in life. Because you try to tell people in PG County what to do and don't do this, don't go. It's like nobody's hearing that. Like, people don't want to hear that. But what people can listen to is what you say and find somewhere in there that they can relate to it, or they can't. Right. And I think the third thing too is you got to be really invested into the people. Like, I make it a priority to, I think it's one thing to have a bunch of people come here and come into my world, to the plunge world, to the brand world. I think it's important to go into their world as well. Like, I love going to like people in our community's birthday parties or dinners, or to visit their church. Mm-hmm. I feel like you gotta really want to do it. So yeah, not being too cool, being honest and being real, not telling people what to do, and just being willing to go into, your community's world versus them always coming into, whatever you're doing. Right. So,
understood.
Yep.
That's why I'm gonna make it a point. I've never cold plunged before.
Yep.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Try it.
I'm ready, bro. Yeah.
Shit.
And we have the sauna too. If you ever want to come, we have the sauna that you can get real warm before you get in.
Oh yeah.
Real hot, break a sweat,
yeah.
And then you can get in the plunge. Because I know it's a little cold out there now. So yeah.
I'm ready for the winter to be over.
For sure, bro. I'm looking at Florida like, man.
Oh damn.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
You got vacation coming up?
No, me and my girl are going to Disney in when is that? April.
Okay.
Was that cost is like a international trip? I'm like going to, but that's her dream. Yeah. That's her something that the little girl version of her like is so excited about.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, we can do Japan, we can do Italy, we can do all these things, but it's like if that is what makes you happy, then let's do that. Yeah. Okay. We're doing Lebanon in July, and then we push Japan back to October-ish. Yep. Okay. So.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's fire.
Thanks, bro.
What's some of the places that you traveled that you've been to that you would go back like tomorrow?
So I've been to Hawaii's in the U.S. That's not overseas, but yeah, I've been to a good amount of places in the U.S., but Hawaii as well. I've been to Paris. I've been to Switzerland. I've been to the Philippines twice. I've been to Japan. I've been to Costa Rica twice. If I had to jump on a plane and go anywhere, I'll probably say the Philippines or Hawaii. The Philippines is just, it's just the most beautiful country I've ever been to. It's far. It is very far. It's like a 15-hour flight, then another 4-hour flight. It is far. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful country. And then Hawaii just feels like Hawaii. Hawaii feels like everything you've ever seen about Hawaii in movies, like Lilo and Stitch. It feels like that in person. So yeah, those two places I would say would be at the top of my list for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's hard. All right. So, do you have a message to the audience? All of this was a message to the audience.
Okay. Good.
But, man, let's just say you got a minute to change somebody's life or just give them some sauce about succeeding in the world of design or just community building or just
For sure.
just elevating to their best self.
Yeah. I say you first got to be honest about what you want. So, I mean, I deal with a lot of people that a lot of people in addiction. I feel like addiction just opened my mind up so much where people want something but they're not willing to do what it takes to get there. And I feel like even in my own experience, like you gotta want it. Like you gotta be willing to do whatever it takes to get there. So if that's long nights, if that's saving up some money for your first drop, if that's, I want to run a marathon, like, okay, what's the plan to get there? I feel like what the cold plunge has taught me is that we as humans are capable of anything that we put our mind to, even if we feel like it's going to be too hard or it's going to be too tough or I can't make it through. When I tell people 3 minutes, they're like, 3 minutes? Like, I don't know if I can last 30 seconds. And there's a point in the cold plunge where after about 45 seconds, your body starts to ease up, you start to relax, and you start to believe that I can make it through.
Right.
And so I feel like you got to get started. You just have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get to wherever you want to go. And yeah, if you believe in God, you have a higher power, like you can lean on them to take you the rest of the way. But you gotta be willing. I feel like if you're willing, then everything else can come. So
when there's a will, there's a way.
when there's a will, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up to the last couple questions.
Yeah.
So being a design man and just being into the fly shit, like, have you ever dove into music at all? Like, not even rapping, just like production or, I mean, I like music. I produce type.
Fire.
So, yeah. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't, bro. I remember when I was a kid, I filmed a rap song with my best friend Jabari. It was over the Big Spender beat. I think that was an ASAP song, but it was over the Big Spender beat. And we went to Annapolis Mall. We filmed the video. We were like going through Jeremy Scott's, not having enough money to buy them, going to like try on watches with no money in our pockets. Like that was cool. I've always been hyper inspired by music as a whole, the production, the time it takes to come up with something. That's just never been like my forte. That's never ever been my specialty. Like, I remember when I got in my car accident, I was in the house for like 5 days straight and I couldn't leave. So I got on my laptop, I downloaded like GarageBand or something. And I was like, I feel like maybe this is like my Kanye moment. Like, I feel like I got in a car accident and like, so I get on GarageBand, I just whip up a whole bunch of bullshit. And after that, I was like, I'm done, bro. That's it. Like, that's not my forte.
Fuck it.
So,
shit.
Yeah, but I'm always inspired by like people that do that. I've been in the studio, I've seen, and it's a whole, just like designing and creating is a whole world. Like music in itself, the layers, the amount of takes. Like it's not just this thing, you go in there, you rap, you sing, and that's it. It's like, it is a process. I feel like that's why I love film so much.
Yeah.
it's a process to get that perfect product to put out into the world. So yeah.
Okay, this might be a lot for your brain. Give me 3 artists that you fuck with. They don't have to be from here. They can be freaking in the Philippines.
Okay. Gotcha.
And 3 films. I see you got Project X, fucking Spider-Man, Jumper. I remember that movie.
Yeah, bro, that's classic, man.
What the heck?
Yeah. Kill Bill's up there. Scarface is up there.
Yeah. So
The Dark Knight fell, but that's up there somewhere.
what's over there? All right.
Yeah.
So give me 3 and 3, and then.
Man, so music, I would say Ye. I would say Don Toliver.
Okay.
And I would say. Let's go crazy. Let's say Chief Keef. Let's say Chief Keef.
Hell yeah.
Because I don't listen to Chief Keef as much anymore, but I'll never forget like that time from high school to college to after college, like what those albums did in my soul. Like, so yeah, let's go crazy. If I'm going safe, I'll say Travis or somebody, but Chief. I'll throw in like a crazy one. And then films, all my favorites are up here.
Okay.
But if I had to pick 3. I would say, oh my gosh, I would say Kill Bill, Project X, and The Dark Knight.
Fire.
Yeah. Project X, just like, as a kid, I don't know if I've ever felt cooler watching them. It's not like an Oscar win. It's not this, but to me, same thing with Jumper. Like, Jumper to me as a kid was like crazy. Like, and so I never forget like what those movies did to me as a kid. Some of them, like There Will Be Blood or Spider-Man 2 I grew up on. Mm-hmm. Scarface I watched later in life. But I remember the first time I watched Kill Bill or any of those movies, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, Kill Bill was fire.
Mm-hmm.
Project X, I like to go to parties. Like, I used to backflip.
Oh, did you really? Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Like, I want every party to feel like
Project X. Yeah.
It doesn't live up to that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't even come close.
No, bro,
but
no.
Shit, it's like, damn. I'm gonna keep on trying.
For sure, yeah,
so,
definitely.
I mean, that's why you gotta go to different cities.
For sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. So coming to the final part.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the ASTROVERSE. Basically, this is essentially the Marvel universe of the world. My cousin has a 3D printer. I'm not gonna put this on him yet, but I want him to be able to create action figures and shit out of everybody that's on the series.
Yeah.
So with that being said, when there's a superpower that you would like to have, you could be a villain, I don't care. But and it doesn't have to exist. I'm gonna just put that out. So use your imagination, and if you had to have a character in the Marvel universe, and of course everything that you told me is your bio, your arc, your character arc and all that, what do you see yourself being? Like, how would your character look? How would what type of swag would he have? What type of shit would he wear? And ultimately, like, what type of power would you have?
What, man, that's a good question. Okay, I'll start with superpower. If I had to have one superpower, it would be between having like Spider-Man-like powers or having Jumper-like powers.
Okay.
That way I could just go anywhere. Like, I thought that was so cool. I could just go anywhere at any time.
Legit.
How would I act? I feel like I would be kind of like how I am now. I like to dress nice, but people can also like talk to me, but nobody would know. Nobody would know. Not even like my mom. Nobody in the world would know.
Okay.
And I guess with some superheroes, like some people know, like the wife may know or the mom may have like an idea. I'll say nobody would know. And I would live in maybe
Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines. Yeah, I'll be doing that over there. Yeah, I'll live in the Philippines. Yeah, for sure. Yep, that'd be dope.
Okay.
So,
no, that's a good way to answer the question. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Well, this is episode 1 of ASTROVERSE. We got the Iceman, Jeremiah. How you say your last name?
McBride.
McBride. All right. So this concludes the episode. I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Man. Thank you for having me, bro. Most definitely.
I learned a lot, And yeah, bro. Hopefully We can do this again.
For sure, most definitely. I would love to, bro. Thank you so much. Great questions. Great questions.
All right. Good man.